Good morning. I hope everyone out there is doing great this morning and nice and warm inside their homes and not out on the roads this morning. I'd like to welcome you to the Digital Banking Tools webinar. And your hosts today are going to be myself. I'm Jaylene Moss. I'm the Assistant Vice President and Branch Manager at the Lee Summit location. And with me is Paris Buyatt, who is a personal banker at the Lee Summit branch location as well. We're going to start with a couple of fun facts here to kind of break the ice and give other people some opportunity to hop on the webinar as well. Paris, tell us a fun fact about yourself.
So my fun fact, my name's Paris. I've been with NASB for a little over 3 years now, and I'm a personal banker, like Jaylene said. I actually have 10 siblings, is my fun fact for today. I have 7 brothers and 3 sisters. I come from a really big family, so kids have always been around in my family, and I just think that's interesting. I always get a kick out of everybody's face when I tell them how many siblings I have, and they're like, how is that possible?
To someone like me, that's crazy. I've only got one brother. So I've been with NASB for a little over 6 years now, and my fun fact is, got 2 fun facts here, quick ones. I have a motorcycle license. I don't currently have a motorcycle though, so I will probably have one this summer. And I have met a lot of rock stars, including Kid Rock. So those are my fun facts. So why don't we go ahead and get started here.
We're going to just tell you a little bit about North American Savings Bank today, give you a rough idea of who we are as a bank. NASB has 11 branches within the Kansas City metro area. We do offer a variety of viable banking solutions, and those include and are not limited to, but checking accounts, savings accounts, CDs, money markets. We are also one of the leading national mortgage lenders in the country as well.
Today, the objectives of the webinar is to increase your digital banking tool knowledge, explore the benefits of each of those tools, review with you some concerns and misconceptions that are common amongst our customers, discuss some best practices to put people more at ease on using these products. And we're also going to do a demonstration of how to actually log on to our online banking toward the end of the webinar.
So a list here of what NASB offers for digital banking tools. We have the Visa debit card. We also have our internet banking or mobile banking. In the internet and mobile banking, those features are going to include our online bill pay, our e-statements, our mobile check deposit, and our mobile payments or digital wallets with those Visa debit cards too. So those are a few of the digital banking tools that we are going to go over today in more detail to kind of go over any concerns you'd have or go over things that you may not have known about those digital banking tools.
I think right now would be a great time to do a little poll here. How many of the digital banking tools do you currently use? So let's see
get an idea of what you guys use currently. I know myself, this list here that you see for digital banking tools, I use every single one of them.
Absolutely.
On a daily basis even. I've become pretty fluent in them, and they're definitely convenient and easy to use. So hopefully we can answer any questions you might have after this. But let's get an idea of what you guys use currently.
See if there's any responses here. I know that it makes it so much more convenient to make sure that all of your debits have come through your account and to help you monitor for fraud also.
And we are currently in the middle of a pandemic, so we are going to go over how these are going to benefit you guys as well.
Absolutely.
To make this easier on everybody who can't leave their house or are high risk and need to be able to access those your banking information.
So it looks like 100% of you use internet and mobile banking, which is great. And 60% of you use a debit card. I would be lost without my debit card. And 67% use the online bill pay, and 67% you also use e-statement. That's a huge number. 83% of you use mobile check deposit.
Nice.
That's great.
I like to see that.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people during this pandemic have gotten used to how to use these tools a little bit easier. So let's go on to the next slide here.
Right. So our first digital banking tool that we are going to go over is our Visa debit card. Just to go over some of the convenience that this specific digital banking tool offers. Visa debit cards are universally accepted and allow you to not have to carry cash, and it's faster at checkouts than cash or even having to write a check at a register. You can stay organized and track your transactions real time. You do have 24 access, and you can shop online at any time during those 24 hours. You don't have to wait for stores to open. So if you want to shop on Amazon at 3 in the morning, by all means, try to do so. And saving time, not having to stop at a bank or ATM. With debit cards, I do get a lot of questions and concerns about them on whether or not they're safe. So to go over some of the security, they are safer than cash. Once that cash is gone, it's gone. You can't get it back. So with you having that debit card, you have the options to go through our
fraud affidavit.
Yes, fraud affidavits to be able to get that money back for you, unlike cash. So,
and that's in the case of if someone were to steal your card or steal your card number and make fraudulent purchases. We do have a process that you'd have to go through to make sure that you get your money back with that.
Debit cards also have the enhanced security of the EMV or the chip per se on our debit cards. And it also offers protections against unauthorized transactions and monitored by FraudWatch, which we just went a little bit over. Financially, for a Visa debit card, with NASB, you have the option to earn a higher interest rate on our Prosper checking accounts. If you have a certain balance and you use that card 12 times per month, we offer that higher interest rate just for using a debit card. And then we also have the debit card mobile payment perks that also help with those as well.
Some of the common concerns or misconceptions that people have about using debit cards is they wonder if the debit cards are secure, and that if they had a debit card compromised before, they're concerned about using them again. With the introduction of the EMV chip, which is the chip that is now in a lot of your debit and credit cards, it has helped debit card fraud substantially. The transactions are a lot safer than carrying cash or using checks, and both the bank and Visa provide protections against unauthorized transactions. Our customers will get a call or a text from Fraud Watch to verify what would be considered a possible fraudulent transaction. Maybe it's something that they don't normally do, and so Fraud Watch will alert them that a transaction may possibly be fraudulent, and the customer has the ability to review their account and let us know if we need to hot card that card.
And something I like to point out with the security of a debit card, I get a lot of customers who are concerned that the debit card number on the front is their account number, which is not true. That debit card number is completely different from your account number, which allows us to shut off your card and order you a new one versus having to close your entire account because your account number was not compromised. It was your card number itself. So that allows us to avoid closing your entire account and having to go through that hassle. So debit cards do help with the convenience and security there, with that number not being the same as your account number.
The other common concern that comes up is that a lot of customers have gotten used to writing checks, and that's how they like to do their business. And we can certainly appreciate that. They can continue to write checks. We're just trying to provide our customers with additional alternatives. It's a lot quicker to clear your account than a check is. You never know when the other person is going to actually take that check to the bank and deposit it on their end. And sometimes that is weeks, or I've even seen it be months later, and the customer comes to us and is curious what this check is that's finally coming through their account. It makes paying bills with a debit card or bill pay so much faster than writing out checks and envelopes. So people can certainly continue to write checks. We're just offering easier, more convenient options for them.
Our next digital banking tool that we'd like to go over is online or internet banking. The convenience of this is that you are going to be able to access your accounts anywhere, anytime, with any computer, tablet, or smartphone. You can check your balances real time and not have to wait for a statement to come out in the mail. So if you are using those debit cards and you need to or would like to see those balances real time, you'll have that opportunity to do so on online banking. You'll be able to fully manage your accounts. There are options on online banking to be able to manage and do things that you may not be able to come to the branch for. You can do from your internet banking. You can get notified when checks clear. We have an alert system that you can set up with your internet banking to be able to get texts and notifications on when checks clear or what your balances are. You can view your statements from anywhere. Earlier, we discussed the computer, tablet, or smartphone. You'd be able to access those statements at any time and easily stay on top of family spending patterns and unexpected purchases. So continuing on with online banking, I'd like to go over the security and how highly secure it is. You do have your own unique ID and password that you set up on your own. This is not something that we would have access to per se. So that is one thing that keeps everything safe by having your unique ID and password. We also have the two-step verification called Secure Now as well. This Secure Now, once you log on to a new device, it will ask for your phone to receive a call or a text with a security code. It's usually 6 digits. You'll enter that security code to verify your identity and do the 2-step verification into online banking. And then activity alerts. So once you log in and you get set up, we can set up activity alerts. So if you have a flip phone even, you can set up those text alerts. So if you have a withdrawal or an unknown deposit or anything like that, you can get an alert to your phone to kind of stop those unauthorized transactions or unexpected transactions. And then financially, it's going to help you become more financially responsible and independent in spend analyzer/budget.
Some of the common concerns and misconceptions with the online banking is that some people will say, well, I don't do anything online because it isn't safe. The fact is that no payment method is entirely safe from fraud, but the government does require financial institutions and actually the 3 top U.S. industries required by law to maintain the strongest internet security are going to be hospitals, nuclear power facilities, and banks. So with us being one of those 3 that are required by the government to have strong internet security, the protections against someone hacking your online banking account or the bank's information is unlikely because we do maintain such incredibly strong protections and firewalls on all of our systems. So that's why you rarely hear of banks actually being hacked.
Moving on to inside our online banking, we have online bill pay. And some of the convenience that this digital banking tool offers is that you can set up your credentials to pay bills versus numerous logons and password. So bill pay is an option where you go in, you enter in your utilities, your credit card, your car payment. You could even pay your mom once a month if that's what you need to do, and you would avoid having to log on to numerous websites and having to remember numerous logons and passwords for those websites. So this kind of keeps everything in one spot for you to be able to pay your bills. You can also set up auto pay or auto transfer, so you never forget a payment and avoid those past due payments on other bills that you are paying. It also helps you stay organized, saves at least 2 years of your payment history. I have had customers come in and say, AT&T said I didn't pay them, but I swear I did. Well, check your history. You can check your history and show that that payment did go through and be able to figure that out there. And then, of course, you're going to be saving time. The bank pays the bills for you. So whether the company accepts it electronically or they accept it via check, the bank is going to do that work for you, which is going to save you a lot of time. As for the security of online bill pay, it's a lot safer than mailing checks. When you mail out checks, you've got to include your personal checks where your information could be stolen or be lost in the mail. And you'd also have to pay for envelopes and stamps and all that. So on the financial side, it is going to save you having to purchase those items just to mail a check or a bill out to a company. Breaches occur especially in non-financial industries, so you increase your risk as you increase the number of locations where you store your account information. So if you are logging on to 6 different websites to pay your bills, you are increasing your risk for your information to possibly be breached or compromised. So if you keep that all in one area, like I said, you are going to avoid having to log on to all those websites, and you're going to decrease that risk of getting your information compromised or stolen if we do the bill pay through our online banking.
And less passwords and logons, like you and I were talking about earlier today. There are so many different passwords and logons that you have to remember these days. And this makes it so much safer for you if you're one of those people that tries to use the same login and same password. You are much better off not using that same one in all these different sites, and you're just logging into one place to do all of this. So.
And my example for you guys on this bill pay, like I said, I use these on a daily basis. And myself, I pay a car payment to Kia. And when I was paying Kia themselves on their websites, I was being charged a $4 fee to pay it online. Now that I pay it through NASB's online bill pay, I don't have to worry about that $4 fee. I am no longer charged it because NASB sends the money for me, so I'm not being charged by Kia to use their website just to make my car payment.
Common concerns and misconceptions about bill pay is I pay my bills through the company's website, and we just kind of talked about this, having to remember another logon and password. You're just needing to remember one instead of all kinds of different ones for the different utilities, Evergy, AT&T, Google, all the other subscriptions that we have with different companies these days. You can log in, pay all of your bills at once. It allows you to set up all of your bills once, and it will keep that information for you so that you can set up auto pay, or you can just go in and say how much you want to send to each of the different payees each month. You can also receive some of your bills if the company is set up to do this, which a lot of the major companies are. You'll actually receive the bill through your bill pay service.
And everything's on one page for you. I know I can be really forgetful. I've got a lot of different bills to pay. So if it's all on there, I have all my payees listed and shown in my bill pay, I'm not going to forget to log on to AT&T's website. It's very possible, and I've probably done it at some point.
I think that happens to all of us.
If it's all there right in front of you, you're less likely to forget about that website that you didn't log on to.
Another common concern is that a customer doesn't have a computer or internet access at home. When our branch lobbies are open, we do have a customer computer here at the branch that customers can come in, log into their online banking, set up alerts if they have, say, a flip phone instead of a smartphone, things like that. Right now, our lobbies are still closed. The bank is waiting for the numbers to start declining instead of setting records. And when they do start to decline, we're going to open up the lobbies again for appointment only customers interactions for things like opening accounts or adding customers to accounts, things that personal bankers would help you do. We'll still take our regular transactions through the drive-through, though, and that's how we are currently conducting our business. Anything that we would normally do in the lobby, we're able to do through our drive-throughs right now. And our customers have been very understanding about this, and it has helped keep our staff safe, our customers safe, so that we are not part of spreading the virus amongst our customers and ourselves. So going back to the computer or internet access, right now, people can access a computer or the internet through the library. I believe that it is also limited access, but they are doing social distancing at the libraries that are open. And we've also got our mobile app where you can do everything on our mobile app. All you need is a smartphone or a tablet. You can do anything you need just in the palm of your hand there. And when we do reopen the branches, we'll be more than happy to help customers with this setup process in our lobbies.
Our next digital banking tool that we're going to head into is e-statements. We'll start off with the convenience of that. Staying organized with 2 years of history. So when you log on to your internet banking, you're going to have access to 2 years worth of statements on there. You'll always have available access to it 24 hours a day. So you'll be able to log in at any point in time and access those statements. And they are delivered up to 7 days sooner. So if you're receiving a paper statement, you are having to wait for that statement to be delivered in the mail, which usually does not arrive until the first or second week of the month. So you do have access to that even sooner if you have e-statements.
Especially with the postal delays that we have going on right now. There's so many things going through the mail that it's put an extra burden on the postal service to try to get all of those mail pieces and packages delivered as soon as they can, but it just seems like it does take even longer now.
A little bit longer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And as for the security of e-statements, I explained earlier that your internet banking is secured with your own unique user ID and password. That being said, that means that your statements are now going to be secured with your unique user ID and password. If you have your statements delivered in the mail, you are chancing that someone could open your mail, steal your mail, and have access to your address and your information that is on those statements. So if you enroll in e-statements, you'll be able to have access to those in a more secure, safer way than you would if they were delivered by mail. Financially, it's going to save you a little bit of money because if, let's say, you lose your printed statement, you need to come to the bank. There is typically a fee for that, so you'd be saving money on not having to get them at the bank, not having to drive to the bank, and you can print them from anywhere at any time on your own.
Some of the common concerns and misconceptions about e-statements are that the customer likes to receive the statements in the mail. And unfortunately, we hear way too often that someone's mail has been stolen. We have seen customers that have been affected by both incoming and outgoing mail at their homes where they have left mail to have the mail courier pick up and take to the post office for them, where it usually has a bill and checks to make payments, their monthly payments, and that has been stolen. And in some cases, the thieves will actually wash the checks and make them payable to themselves, and that can rack up a lot of money quickly when that happens and cause a lot of inconvenience for the customer. If you're in the process of moving, opting for the e-statements is a great way to make sure that your statements aren't still going to your old address. I just went over this with a friend that is in the process of moving, and she feels so much safer being able to get the e-statements and know that there's not going to be mail floating out there for a week or two trying to be forwarded to her new address. So with the e-statements, you'll no longer receive the monthly statements in the mail. You'll get them faster as soon as they are available. On the first of the month, you will actually be able to see them on your online banking session. and you can print up to 2 years worth of statements whenever you like. In some cases, you'll be able to see more than 2 years, but we make sure that you have at least 2 years of statement history available to you.
So before we go into our next digital banking tool, it looks like we do have a poll question, and we'd like to see how many of you are currently using mobile check deposits. We'd like to get an idea of how many of you actually use mobile check deposit currently. I know I don't get checks very often, but when I do, I find it inconvenient to have to go to the branch, and I have used it a couple of times myself. So when I do get checks in.
And you would think that since we work at a bank, it would be easy just to deposit it while we're here. And I don't know if you're like me, I don't think about my own personal banking needs when I'm at work. I'm thinking about other people's needs and my customers and taking care of them, that I rarely have cash on me either.
Then the day's over, I get home and I have this check and I'm like, wait a minute.
Right. So it's great to be able to do the mobile deposit on that. And I think that earlier, actually, 83% of our attendees used the mobile check deposit.
Which was really great to hear.
Yes.
I like that percentage. That's a good percentage.
Absolutely.
All right. So going into a little bit more detail on the mobile check deposit, this is making a deposit as easy as snapping a picture on your mobile device. So when you log on to the mobile app itself, you'll click deposit and you'll be able to take a picture of the front and back of the check, which will deposit that check into your account. So this avoids having to go to the branch itself, or if you get a check on the weekend and you need it deposited right away, you can do that. And it would be depositing a check just like it would be at the branch. So if we're open Monday through Friday, business days, aside from holidays, of course, it will be deposited based off of just like you were at the branch. So they process them 4 times a day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. You get the same amounts available just like you would if you were at the branch. Currently, you get $225 available, $225 available the day you deposit. Next day, up to $5,525, which is our general funds availability policy.
And those funds are available after each of the processing times throughout the day, Monday through Friday. So you won't see those funds available if you deposited it at 8 a.m. this morning. You would see those the $225 available after the 10 a.m. processing. And then the rest available the next business day, so tomorrow. So until the mobile deposit is actually processed, you won't see those funds available on your account quite yet. So
we're going to move on to, looks like, our final digital banking tool for today, which is mobile payments. Mobile payments is your Google Pay, Samsung Pay, Apple Pay that can be accessed from your cell phone or tablet, I believe, as well. And I think my Apple Watch even has these 3 things on there as well. So these 3 make it easier, faster, and safer to purchase things at a store or on your phone. To kind of describe what it does, these basically sends a wireless transmitted signal over, so it does not trace your card number. So a lot of the times if you swipe your card, or even if you insert your card, it could share your information or store your information with those merchants. So using the Google Pay and Samsung Pay and Apple Pay avoids having your card number traced in any way, shape, or form. So that just makes it one step safer than the previous conversation we had had.
And when that does transmit information, it transmits a unique number for each transaction, and it in no way transmits your account information, your debit card number, like she said. So it's definitely perfect during the pandemic when we're trying not to touch things that others have touched. The touchless anything right now is in high demand, and I really love having my Apple Pay. I'm a Apple junkie, so I love having my Apple Pay and not having to touch somebody else's machines that may not have been sanitized right before my transaction. So.
And I do know that this is not as well known quite yet, so if you're unfamiliar with it, you'll see on the slide that there is an image that you will see at any terminal. If you see this image, it means that they do accept Apple, Google, or Samsung Pay. And all you have to do is hold up your cell phone to the terminal itself, and it sends that wireless token to be able to make the purchase without having to touch anything else. So mobile payments continued. They are accepted almost anywhere you shop. I know that Apple Pay for myself, I use on apps all the time. I just double click my little power button and it sends that payment through for me without having to get my card out or do anything else. It is stored on there. The setup is simple. You would add your NASB debit card to one of the three systems, Apple, Google, or Samsung Pay. Typically for NASB, once the card is verified, so when you add your card, it'll say you need to call your bank and get the card verified before you can even use it. So when it says verify, you're going to call the bank, and the bank is going to ask qualifying questions to verify your identity, things like your date of birth and the card number and some other information to make sure that you are who you say you are before the card can even be used.
It makes spending money and shopping very, very easy. Sometimes that's not a good thing.
All right, so we're moving on to the end of our webinar here, and we're going to do an internet banking demonstration for you. We are going to log in ourselves and show you kind of how NASB's internet banking works for you. If you bear with us for just a moment to get logged in.
And this is the NASB.com home screen, and you're simply going to select the log in icon. You're going to access online banking. And we have our credentials that we're going to log in with. As you can see, I use my online banking here.
All right, so now that we're logged in, we're going to start with showing you kind of how to do an account transfer. So if you see on the left-hand side, we have our notification center. So it does send you notifications on if there's any unknown logins or activity like that. It will give you a notification if something's been changed.
If someone has changed the password, it tells you that you recently changed your password. If any of the items you didn't do and don't look correct, then you'll want to notify us as soon as possible.
So then we have our key expenses. So you can set up a budget and that'll be available to you on that left-hand side. And then we have quick transfer. So quick and easy, you're going to do a drop-down box and it'll show your available accounts. You'll pick the account that you want the money to be withdrawn from. And then you will select your second drop-down box to select the account that you would like the funds to be deposited to. and then simply enter the amount that you wish to transfer.
And always double check that what you entered is really what you think you entered. So if I thought that I was going to be entering $500, I have the opportunity to back up here and make sure that I enter the correct amount, and you hit submit, and it tells you your transfer has been successfully submitted with a confirmation number up at the top. And then you can also go down to your deposit account down here and check and make sure that all of your balances are correct. If you wanted to view any of the accounts and their account activity, you would simply select which account it was, and you're going to select how long ago you wanted transaction history for. We'll just do the last 30 days. And if you're looking for one particular item, you can select what type of transaction you're looking for. Otherwise, you can just do any transaction. And the only thing that I have done recently on this account is today, and I transferred the $500 out of the account. These tabs up here at the top can quickly take you back to the home screen of where we logged in and what we saw when we first came in.
In that account activity, we talked about debit cards and being able to see your transactions real time. So when you do go to your account activity, if any of your debit card purchases have posted, you'll be able to see all of those there for you. So next we're going to go into how to access your e-statements. We have an e-statements tab there, third one to the right. And you'll see here that you can view your current statements. It'll show both your accounts, or all of your accounts that you have statements for.
Checking, savings. And you are going to view statement. And these are all. I'm not sure why my phone keeps telling us that our entry isn't valid when we're not doing anything, so I apologize. And then it brings up your statement here. You can exit out of that and view your history, which has your previous statements listed here. And you can go even further back. This one looks like it's given us back to July of 18. And you can view, I don't have any e-notices, so each of your accounts, you can view the statement history here on this tab. Anytime you see the 3 horizontal bars, that is a menu option, and that allows you to do other things within this particular tab here. So we are going to go to the More tab here, and you can do stop payments, or you can view messages here, or send messages as well. And then the next area that we're going to show you is going to be payments up here at the top. So we were under the accounts tab here, and these are the sub tabs under the accounts. Next, we've got payments. And this is how you would enter each of the bills that you currently have. We've got some quick select tabs here, so we can go to utilities, and Evergy seems to be pretty much in this area, so for most people. So you can select Evergy, formerly KCP&L, or Evergy, formerly Westar. So I'm going to select the Evergy, formerly KCP&L. All I would need to do is enter my account number with them. I can enter a nickname for this account, like electric bill, so that I don't have to remember Evergy is formerly KCP&L and say, oh yeah, that's my electric. And then all you have to do is put the zip code in for the address that you would normally send your payment to. So let's just see if we can do that. Click next step. This information doesn't match what Evergy is expecting. Check the account number and zip code. So it's even letting me know that that's not the correct zip code for their billing address, and I have the opportunity to go back and change that. So since I don't have an Evergy bill handy, we're just going to cancel this, and we're going to go back to the screen here. Each of these has some popular companies that many of our customers pay. If you don't see one of the companies that you need to pay, you can enter the name of the company or the person here and say that I want to pay Paris Buyatt each month. Then I can mail a check to her. I would need to enter her address and any other information that I need to let her know why I'm sending this payment. And I can't think of a reason to send her a payment for anything right now. So we're just going to back out of this. But it really is 3 easy steps to get your bill set up. And like we said earlier, this does save the information each time. And so you'll just have a list of the people that you normally pay and can set up automatic payments.
And when you set up a payee, which it's not allowing us to do because we don't have those account numbers handy, but when you set up a payee, it will then take you, the homepage for your bill pay system will list each payee, and then it'll have a few simple boxes for you to enter the amount, the dates, and to submit your money. From there, you can also set up your auto pay on the dates and everything that you would like to do with that bill specifically.
I'm going to go to the next tab up here at the top, because we went to the tab when we first went into online banking here at the very start, the quick transfer tab. And this is to transfer from one of your accounts to another one of your accounts that you own. On transfer funds, you can actually transfer not only between your accounts here, but you can transfer to other accounts that you own. So you would just do that through the external transfers tab. And okay, well, we haven't entered one, but you would just enter your email information here, and it will walk you through a series of questions about the other bank that you have an account there, and you can transfer funds to other accounts. It's not instantaneous. It will give you the exact day that it will be received at your other financial institution when you enter each of the transfers. The middle tab here, internal transfer activity, it will give you basically a history of your transfers, and it does show the one that we did earlier in the session here. The next tab up at the top is the spending tab, and this is where you can put in different categories. Okay, it's thinking about bringing this up, and it's been so long since I've been on this screen because I set up this tab a long time ago with different categories of when I swipe my card for gas, it goes into the transportation category. You can have shopping, Christmas category. You can have
basically
any category.
Help you budget where exactly you're spending your money, whether that be on clothes or shopping or food or groceries, gas, like she was talking about the different categories. It's going to help you budget exactly where your funds are going to when you do spend that money. So this spending tab is to help you set up those budgets and help you set up what kind of categories you would like to keep track of and know about. Since it does not want to load and spin for us, and that's kind of a rough idea of what that spending tab is going to do for you. Kind of like mint.com does. That's another like budgeting system that I've actually used before too. So it's similar to that, where you can set up the budget and exactly know where your funds are going to.
And after you set up your different categories in the spending tab here, under key expenses, you'll be able to view all of the different categories here. So there's an overview tab. You've got your actual budget that you would enter. You can do different savings goals here if you're saving to buy a house, saving to buy a car, saving for an emergency fund. You can go here, and this is some suggested categories that a lot of people use here. So it kind of gives you some suggestions, but you can absolutely personalize it to your needs. So we are going to go ahead and log out of here, and we are going to go back here, and we're going to go over some best practices from today's webinar.
Right, so on our digital banking best practices, never share your personal log-on credentials with anyone. So do not give out your passwords, your IDs, none of that. Do not share that with anyone at any time. That is for your use only and will avoid your internet banking being hacked or used incorrectly by the wrong person that you gave access to. So always perform your operating system updates, Windows, iOS, Android. If there are updates, make sure that you are performing those and keeping your systems up to date to avoid any issues there as well. Whenever possible, use biometric access for all electronic devices.
I think now would be very excited. I think now would be a great time for us to tell them about something coming to our mobile banking. You guys are the first ones to hear about it, so we're going to let the cat out of the bag. And coming very soon, we're not going to give you an exact date, but we will be upgrading our mobile banking to offer biometric access. And what that means is that if you have on your smartphone, if you have a thumbprint signature or the face recognition or retinal recognition on your phone that allows you access without having to type in an access code on your phone, then you'll be able to use that same feature with our mobile banking. So that is coming very soon, and we are so very excited for that and can't wait for it. So just a little extra thing that you guys get to be privy to for attending the webinar today. So
yes, very, very excited about that, especially for myself. I'll be selfish there. I am super excited about that. So
I am too. So
and also avoid unsecure Wi-Fi access points. So if you are around Wi-Fi and you're not familiar with it, please avoid logging onto that Wi-Fi so that you are not putting yourself at risk for any hacks or anything like that. So do not log on to Wi-Fi that you are not familiar with.
And try to limit your access to public Wi-Fi access. For example, McDonald's has it, a lot of
Starbucks.
Yes, Starbucks. The scammers are getting better every day, so just try to limit your access to those types of Wi-Fi access points. In conclusion, then, I can't believe an hour has gone by already. Never in history have we had greater access and control over our financial lives than we do today. So stop by a branch, visit NASB.com, or you can call our customer service team for a personalized walkthrough of all of these free, incredibly convenient self-help services. The 1-800 number there that is on your screen. There's a fabulous team of customer service people that can walk you through setting up any of these items. If you have questions, concerns, they can definitely help you there, or we can help you by calling in any of the branch locations or stopping through our drive-through.
We would love for every single one of our customers to take advantage of all these things. So if it's stopping by the branch, like she said, our customer service team is phenomenal, and we would be happy to help you as well. So please stop by. Please ask your questions. If you have concerns, please let us know.
Absolutely. So we want to thank you for getting on the webinar early this morning, and we would like to open it up to any questions that any of you might have out there. Also, if you come up with a question after the webinar here, you can always send that question to csr@nasb.com, and one of our team members in our customer service area can help you there. Also, we do have a very brief survey right after we answer any questions, so if you'll please stay on for that and answer the brief survey, it will help us to identify future webinars that would be beneficial to our customers. Any feedback that you have for Paris and I would also be greatly appreciated. So I don't know that anybody has any questions, it doesn't look like. I'm going to give a couple more minutes for it. Let's see here. We'll, we still don't have any other questions, but while we're waiting for anyone to type any in, back to the biometric access, we are so incredibly excited.
I think I've told Jaylene about 20 times a day how excited I am for that.
Yes, and we cannot wait. So.
It's convenient, it's simple, it's easy, and it is secure. I love the Face ID. That is what I have for a numerous amount of logins. I use the Face ID, and it's wonderful.
And I'll even share a tip if someone is, after we do launch it, if someone's having problems actually getting their facial recognition or thumbprint recognition to work, if their phone is not set up to automatically update, then they may have to actually delete the app off of their phone and then go back in and not put it back on their phone.
Basically delete it and re-enter it.
Thank you. Yes. Put it back on your phone, and that will actually reset that the update is there in order to be able to use the biometric access. So it does not look like anyone has any questions. So again, I would like to thank everyone for attending today. And if you have any questions, feel free to send an email to csr@nasb.com. And I guess we'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.
Everybody stay safe. Have a good rest of your day.